like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and today we are at Grant Cardone's headquarters in Florida. And let me tell you, I just now watched a pitch competition, and I have one of the directors on the line here. So first off, Portia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. So we just got done watching the pitch competition. Mind blown. My first time coming to one of these things, and I have to say it was quite an experience. Maybe just start off with talking a little bit about your background and the organization and what we're doing here today.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Portia Richardson, the founder and executive director of Tumaini, D.C. I grew up in Washington, D.C. in the same community that most of our students grew up in. And so I became a teacher, and I, looked at my own background as a teacher. So I grew up in a single parent household. My dad was on and off drugs, in and out of prison. I watched my mom struggle, but it was great programs like Tumaini that gave me access to resources and opportunities that I would have never had otherwise. So when I became a teacher, I thought about ways that I could bridge the gap between communities and schools. There were so many disparities happening in the communities, and I felt like a lot of the schools I taught in, they did a great job of teaching the academics and making sure students were prepared for testing and even college and career in some cases. But there was this deep social and emotional piece that was missing because of the trauma in our communities. And so that is how Tumaini was born, by thinking about a solution of how we can offer resources, mentorship, innovative and trajectory shifting programming like entrepreneurship programming, as well as vocational programming, and social and emotional, and mostly emotional intelligence based programming that really pushes students to success and takes more of a holistic approach. So that's how we started, and this was 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
I heard a little fragment of a story about how you originally met the Grant Cardone Foundation, or how the original pitch took place. Give me the full story. I got to hear it.
That was a wild ride. So in 2020, during COVID, everybody was bored at home, and there was this app that took off called Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
so
was on
Grant
it.
was running, he was the Clubhouse guy.
He always does that. Every time there's a new platform. I remember from Periscope days. Yeah, I got it.
He ran Clubhouse. And so my husband was like, let's listen in to Grant's room. And so my husband actually introduced me to Grant Cardone because he was always a fan. And so I got into this room, and there's these people in there pitching, real estate investment companies, and nobody pitched a nonprofit, okay? But I call myself one of those crazy people that do a lot of crazy things. So I was like, what if I pitched Tumaini? And he was like, do it. And there was thousands of people in this room. So I raised my hand virtually, and surprisingly, Grant brought me to the stage.
You got picked. How are you feeling at that moment? Your husband clicking.
I was running through the house, grabbing paper, I'm going to say this. He's like, Portia, it's your organization.
Yeah.
You talk about this mission all the time. Why are you nervous right now? Put the paper down and pitch. Yeah. And I put the paper down. I pitched from my heart.
Wow.
So I knew our numbers. I'm so familiar with our mission because our mission is my story. And Grant was like, wow, this is amazing. And he said, yes, you're in D.C. and I'm in Florida, but I'm going to make it happen, and we're going to make big impact together. What's something that's very interesting, and I always say this, and this is one of the reasons I love Grant, is because there were other people on this virtual stage. And so he asked everybody to match his gift. And there were so many people who will remain nameless, who agreed to match his gift. And Grant was the only person that kept his commitment and his word.
Wow.
And not just to the financial gift, because that has been a very impactful component of this partnership. But it's these moments. It's the pitch off where we get to bring students. 2 years ago, we brought 30 students here. Every year we bring on average 20 to 30 students. He fly us in from DC, pay for our accommodations. And for most of our students, this is their first time ever getting on a plane. For some of their first time staying in a hotel, definitely their first time pitching a business, developing a business, and coming in front of senior leaders and senior people like yourself, highly successful individuals, to pitch their ideas. So that has been, to date, our students have won now, after today, they've won over $90,000 in funding. Yes.
Wow. That's absolutely amazing. What's one of your favorite parts about the whole pitch competition process, just to let, it could be any piece of it, just to let the audience at home just know how significant this is?
Yeah, I think the biggest part is like seeing them get out of their own way and out of their own head.
Yeah.
A lot of people see it
Adults
as like,
need that. Hold on.
like
For the students. I need it too. Me too.
right. And so, and the other thing is, I have a movement, personal movement called the Impactpreneur movement. And so it's people who are not your everyday entrepreneurs, but very committed to trajectory shifting resources that's going to bring change. And so all of you heard from all of our businesses, we push them to start with, what are you passionate about? What's your purpose? What is a pressing problem that you want to solve? And so these are businesses that are impactful, that are solving a pressing problem in our community. So that's the first thing. The second is, because we do this trauma-informed work, a lot of our students come to us and they feel like, I'm not enough. This is too much. This is too big. There's no way I can go all the way to Miami and do this. There's no way somebody's going to invest in my business. And some of them, unfortunately, have been told that they're not enough. Some of them have had adverse experiences that have made them feel like they're not enough. So when I see them push through all of those adversities, when I see them get out of their head and truly own their power and take this stage, and honestly, what you guys saw today, we were surprised, because when they get up there, they throw in some extra razzle dazzle that we've never seen.
You're like, how they do that?
Where
I
did
had
that come
Sarah
from?
on the line. I had Sarah on the show, and she's like, wait, where'd they, what?
Right. So there's this magic that happens when they get in the room and they finally get out of their head. So that's really my favorite part of this whole experience, the process for them and how they grow and develop with their businesses.
All right. So last thing I want you to do here, Portia, is I want you to look directly into the camera and tell everyone, the other business leaders out there, why they should be supporting the Grant Cardone Foundation and why they should be supporting the pitch competition in general. So
Absolutely. Okay, to everyone out there, you should be supporting the Grant Cardone Foundation and Tumaini DC, because we are providing opportunities for young people and communities where they would not otherwise have access to these resources and opportunities. The experiences that our students have are not just experiences that will change their lives, but it will impact generation after generation. It will allow them to create a legacy for themselves, and it will allow them to break the cycle of trauma and poverty in our community. So please donate and support these organizations.
amazing. And so thank you, Portia. And for everybody listening at home, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're providing you with new content, new thought leaders, and hopefully new stories that will help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow. And Portia, again, thank you so much for coming in. So it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.